Hello and welcome to the Sluice Podcast. My name is Charles Olojede, and I'm going to be your host on this podcast. I'd like to tell two stories, quick ones. One is a bit old, maybe a few years ago, and there's one that is more recent. The older story is about a former colleague of mine. He's Indian. We hired him from Abuja to come and work in Lagos. And this are the interesting part of that story. Let's call my friend Mr. V. When Mr. V was coming from Abuja to Lagos, he insisted that we should find him an Indian hotel. So we had to look for one where he wanted to stay. He wanted to stay in an Indian hotel. That's fine, no problem. So he came around. We found one for him on Victoria Island, and he stayed there. Now, it gets more interesting. We were going to register Mr. V for HMO, health insurance. He insisted on an Indian hospital. So we found him an Indian hospital where it was registered. I know a number of Indian restaurants in Lagos. It is still courtesy of Mr. V. Every time he says, "Oh, let's have lunch," he takes me to an Indian restaurant. Now, when Mr. V traveled to India over Christmas and he came back with some Indian drinks. He wanted to introduce me to products from India. We were going to recruit techies. One of our clients needed some techies, so we were getting CVs from wherever we could get. And he came in and said, "Look, I can get you better CVs. I can get you cheaper people from India." We thought it was a joke. And in a couple of days, he got us like 10, 20 CVs from India. Tell you what, we ended up employing about 3 or 4 of those techies from India. What am I bringing out from that story? There's something about an Indian man and his patriotism. The way he remembers India, the way he thinks India. When you see a Tata car in Nigeria, on the street of Lagos, you can look inside and see who is likely to be the occupant of this vehicle. Just look, you'll be surprised. It's an Indian man. So there is a sense of patriotism that is deep about an Indian man. Now, the second story, which is more recent, has to do with the chairman of the board of trustees of the palm, I think they are called palm oil producers or something, association in Nigeria. We had a transaction sometimes late last year. And he told me about how there is a research and there are some people that are championing this research, and they are saying, look, palm oil is bad for your health. Not just that palm oil is bad for your health, but that palm tree constitutes an environmental hazard. The cultivation of palm tree is not good for the environment. So what essentially were they trying to push our people to? They're saying, look, it is better you switch to soya oil because soya beans is good for the environment. Soya oil is healthier for the people. You know, when you think deeply about that story, yes, it appears as if it's all altruism. Someone wants you to live more healthy, so he's recommending something that is healthier for you. But here is what you find behind the people who are championing this idea. They are from countries that produce massively soya beans. So essentially, they are pushing you to adopt something that they already produce en masse, and for you to jettison that which you produce in your own country and which you have been producing for so long. Now, those two stories left an impression on me. I think we're not doing well enough as a country in issues of patriotism, how we feel about our country. what we express about our country. We're not doing well enough about our own product, even when we have products that are better, that are richer, that are healthier than the imported ones. We're not doing well enough with that. People have argued that the economy of Nigeria as it is today, is it where it ought to be? Are there things that we are doing right that we need to do more of? Are there things that we're not doing well enough that we need to tell the truth to ourselves and say, look, how can we get this thing to work better? There is a lot of gap in the citizens' education. A lot of argument that you find on social media are not based on fact or any rich knowledge. There are some of them are what you can call beer parlor arguments. We need to be able to step up above beer parlor arguments. We need to be able to produce and provide more citizens' education. We need to be able to encourage ourselves and bring out the best in this country that we have been gifted. This country we have been gifted is one of the best gifts that any person, any citizen could ask for around the world. But we have not been able to bring out the best of it as far as Nigeria is concerned. So what can we do? The Sluice Podcast is going to focus on those issues that we need to discuss and analyze. From economy to finance to youth development to empowerment issues to entrepreneur issues, and we will dissect these issues, first analyzing what the problems are, but beyond the problems, what are the solutions? How can we move things forward? This is what the Sluice Podcast is going to be focused on. So, I know a lot of people who have seen me on the media in some past years. Before I took a little break, I've been asking, "Oh, Charles, where can we listen to you? We would like to hear from you." I'm here now on the Sluice Podcast, and together we will do this. What are we going to do? Sometimes it will just be only me soliloquizing, talking and analyzing matters. At other times, I'll be bringing people who are knowledgeable, or exposed, or experienced in the topic that we want to discuss. And we will share ideas, we will analyze what the problems are, and we will propose solutions. At other times, it might not be just one guest. It might be a panel. We might have more than one person. Because what are we looking for? We're thinking of different perspectives to the same issue. And we want people to talk from those different perspectives so that we can have a cocktail of solutions, a cocktail of perspective and a cocktail of solutions. So this will be our approach on this podcast. I have a very inquisitive mind. I'm a curious person, and I can bring to the fore those capacity to engage my guests and bring out a thorough analysis of matters. At the same time, an analysis of solutions that we can push forward, essentially to make this country of ours that we have been gifted a better place that we can all be proud of. So I'm going to call you to join me every Sunday on the Sluice Podcast as we bring out the best of guests and discuss the best of topics, analyze problems, and bring forth solutions. I am your host, Charles Olojede. Thank you for listening to me.